my name is Faith Rawley. I am a fitness instructor and personal trainer here at the Kroc. I'm going to lead you through a lower body workout today. This is designed that you can do it in one section and then maybe do it a couple times a week. Or if you wanted to, you could break it into 2 sections and do a couple that half piece. So just do what you want to do with it. It's your workout, but I hope that you find this useful for you. Equipment wise, you're going to need a few different things. You want to have a different range of weights. So I've got something that's a little bit heavier. I've got a medium set of weights and a smaller set of weights. And then I also have a resistance band. You can have one like this that's wrapped, or if you have one that has handles, then you're just going to wrap it around the knees when it comes to that section. So this is what we'll need for today. We're going to start with our heavier weights. So whatever you have that's heaviest. And most of these exercises you can also do with body weight. If you're new to strength training, it's also good to do all of these movements just body weight. We're going to start with a deadlift. So I'm going to come kind of side on so you can see. We're going to hold the weights down. We're going to lower, hinging forward from the hips. The knees are going to be softly bent, but not really straightened out. And then we're going to pull back up to work the back of the body, the glutes and the hamstrings, okay? So we're going to do 10 reps here. Keep your shoulders rolled back, keep the core tight and the back long. And we're going to do 1, 2, and you want to take your time so you can really feel that squeeze of the glutes to lift and bringing the hips back underneath the shoulders. That was 4. Keep that core tight so the back is long. We've got 4 more to go. Last 2. Let's try 2 more. And 1 more. All right, good work, everyone. You can set those a little bit of heavier weights down. So next up, we're going to go into a squat. And I've got some options for you on this one. So you can either hold one of your heavier weights or a lighter one, or again, just body weight is fine. We're going to add a heel lift on this one. So we're going to do 10 reps of just a regular squat and then 5 extra reps where we're going to come up onto your toes. If you don't want to do that heel lift option, then you can just stay with your feet down the whole time. You want to start with your feet a little bit outside the hips with your toes very slightly turned out. If you're holding a weight, you're going to bring it up towards your collarbone. And then when we sit back, we're pushing the hips back like you're going to sit into a low chair, okay? So you really want to focus on that hip hinge back. Don't just bend the knees to the front. Really think about sitting back in that imaginary chair. All right, so we're going to do 10 reps here. 1, 2. Again, we're bracing the core really tight. We're aiming to keep whatever weight we're using level. That's going to help strengthen the back as we work the legs. We've got 5 more. Take your time so you can really feel that squeeze in the legs to push back up. 3, 2, and last one. And then we're going to do 5 more, but this time we're going to come up onto toes. So shake out just for a moment if you want to. So this time we're going to lower, and as you come up, you're going to lift up the heels. Lower down, lift. So we're driving the hips a little bit forward, coming up onto the balls of the feet to work the ankles and the lower part of the leg. 2 more. And last one. All right, excellent work. You can set that slightly heavier weight down. This time you want to grab either your mediums or your lighter weights. We're going to do a combined movement this time with a lateral lunge and a front raise. So you're going to start with your legs wide. We're going to have our toes turned out so that when we lunge, the knees are going to press in line with the toes. And we're going to add a front raise. So the arms are going to come straight out in front, and we're going to do 10 on each side, okay? Here we go. 1. So you can slightly angle the arms to face in the direction of the knee. And as you press that knee out, you're lining it up with the toes each time, keeping that core nice and tight. All right, that was 4 reps. This is really good for your hips and the stabilizing muscles of the legs. We've got 4 more sets. Keep going. Don't forget to breathe here. Last 2 on each leg. Keep lifting those arms up to shoulder height. And then 1 more in each leg. And last one. All right, hold it there. Good work, everyone. Put those weights down, give yourself a shakeout. All right, your next movement is going to be some balance work, but still working the legs. So what you want to grab for this one is a medium or a smaller weight, something that you feel happy holding up overhead. But if you want to, again, you can just do body weight and hold the arm up overhead. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your weight in one arm and we're going to work the opposite leg into a knee lift so we get some stabilization work, okay? So we really want to tighten up through the middle. We want to brace that core and we want to keep that arm lifted. You can use the hand on the hip or you can extend it out, and we're going to do 10 on each leg. So lifting and lowering. Working that standing leg for balance. Try to keep everything else still in the body. Taking your time, that's going to help so that you can really focus on that core brace. All right, 4 more. 4, 3, last 2 here, and 1 more. Okay, let's change sides. So bring that weight out, shake out that arm, shake out the legs, and then when you're ready, lifting that weight up to start with. We're going to keep it nice and straight up, brace the core tight, and then lift. You're going to press down into that standing leg, keeping your weight through the heel and the toes of the foot. We've got 5 more. All right, almost there, last 3. And it's okay if you wobble a little bit, that just means your legs are working. 1 more. All right, excellent. You can set your weights down for this next one. So we're going to work a single leg squat, but we're going to keep both of our feet down to generate the work for those muscles without taking the leg off the ground. So we're going to start kind of from ground level up. So what you're going to start with is 1 foot back. I've got my right foot forward, my left foot is back with the toes in line with the front heel. And we're going to still generate a squat, which means the hips are going to come back instead of, again, bending through the knees, sitting into that imaginary chair, but keeping most of your weight in this standing front leg, okay? So here we go. We're going to lower and we're going to press out of the leg. And you want to be intentional about really squeezing everything through the quads and then also through the hamstrings and glutes as you rise back up. This is generating some really good isolated single leg work. We've got 4 more. Last 3. Keep pushing back through the hips. 2 more. And 1 more. All right, excellent work. Shake out those legs and then let's do the other side. So same thing. We're going to step 1 foot back. You want to keep your feet still in line with your hips. And then we're going to push our weight more into that standing leg and lower down. And if it helps, you can kind of just come onto the toes of this back foot. As I'm coming down, I can still see the toes of the front foot. So that shows me that I'm pushing the hips back rather than just bending the knees. Keep that core tight and engaged. And we've got 4 more together. 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right, excellent job. Shake out the legs. All right, this next move, again, we're not going to use any weights. We're just going to use body weight. We're going to do a lunge, but I've got 3 options for you, and you can pick what feels best for you. So to set up for your lunge today, you're going to take a really long step back in one leg. And you really want to think about stepping further back than maybe feels comfortable. Sometimes we kind of come here, and again, that's going to generate more of that squat. But if you take a really long step back, when you lower through the knee, you should again still be able to see the toes of this front foot. And that's going to be your indicator if you're stepping back far enough. So your option number one is going to be to just stay here and lower through the leg. Okay, so that's where you can start. If you want number two, you can come down and then step forward. So you're going to step back, lower, and step in. And then our third option is going to be a lower and then a lift into a knee lift in the front, okay? All right, I'm going to come face on and we'll do this together. So we're going to start with our leg back, ready to go. You can pick your option. I'm going to do level 3, but you're just going to follow me on that lowering part. All right, here we go. 1, 2, getting some balance work in here again. 3, really pushing your weight into the standing leg. 4, 5, and just give a check-in, make sure you see those toes over the knee. And if you need to tap down in between, that's okay. We're working our balance. All right, we've got a couple more. And last one. Great work. All right, shake out those legs and let's do the same on the other side. So take a long step back, set that position, make sure your feet line up with hips. So again, not too narrow. And then we're gonna lower and take your option. You can just keep that leg back, tap the foot to the front, or come to your knee lift. Getting my heart rate up a little bit on this one. 6, 7, 8, keep it going, we're almost there. 9, and 10. Excellent job. All right, if you do want to, you can grab a mat for this next one, or if you're just in somewhere comfortable, you can just come down to the ground. We're gonna do some side leg lifts. So you have a couple of options to set up. You can straighten out that bottom arm and lay your head down, or you can have it cradled in the hand. We're gonna straighten out both legs, and you might wanna put a towel under the hips, and then from here, we're gonna stabilize, and we're gonna lift into a side leg lift. All right, we're gonna do 10 reps on each side. So lifting up, 1, 2, 3, and you can point the toes or try flexing the foot and see how it feels different. You might find that you feel a little bit more into the lower leg with that flexed foot. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Let's quickly roll to the other side. So same thing, set up in whatever way feels comfortable. Straighten out both legs. Make sure that your hips are staying square to the front. And then we're gonna lift. 1, 2, and you wanna lift it as high as you feel comfortable, working in those hips. Try flexing the foot for variation if you want. 4 more. Last 2, and 1 more. All right, good work. All right, next up, we're gonna come into a tabletop on your mat. So we're gonna have our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You wanna brace the core so that your spine stays long. And what you really wanna check in on this one is that you're not overarching the back. So we're gonna try and keep it nice and level. We're gonna do 2 movements. We're gonna do a lift up into a scorpion, and then we're gonna do a little clamshell to the side. So we're gonna lift, flexing that foot to the ceiling, and then a little lift to the side, keeping that knee at 90 degrees. Now again, really be mindful of the core. The point at which we're going to lower that back is when we bring the foot up. So if you start to feel it lowering too much, just keep the foot a little bit lower so you can control through the back. 4 more sets. Last 3. Okay, 2 more. And last 1. lift, and out to the side. Good. Bring it over to the other side. So we're going to do the same on the other leg. Set your hands up, give your wrists a little shake out if you need it. Make sure that your knees are right underneath your hips. And then we're going to start with that lift up and out to the side. Really think about that core brace. So as we're working the legs, we're getting some good work for our core as well. Try and keep that foot flexed. That's going to generate some work through into the back of the legs. All right, we've got 3 more. Keep it going. 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Up and out. Good. If you need to, just give yourself a little stretch back into your child's pose and then come back up to standing. Okay, I'm going to move my mat out the way for this one. We're going to work with your resistance band. So if you have a band that has handles, you can actually wrap it around the knees and just make sure that the handles are connected in with each other. If you want to sit down to do this, you can, but we're going to bring the band over the feet and then slide it all the way up to just above the knees. And we're going to work in some little crab walks on this one. So give yourself a little bit of space. We're going to lower down into our squat. You can have the hands in front if you want to. And then we're going to take 2 steps side to side. Again, we're going to be really mindful of the core so that we can keep the chest lifted. And we're going to press the outside of the leg into the side of the band. Now we're halfway through, but at this point you might be starting to come up out of your squat. So really lower and keep moving. Okay, 3 more times. Keep stepping wide with those legs. Last 2 now, starting to feel it. Definitely feel that burn in the back of the legs. All right, this is your final one. So my challenge is lower down a little bit more and really push out to the side. Final walk and done. Good. Whew, bring it up. All right, shake out the legs. Keep the band on here. And our final movement is going to be a little step back or a kick back of the legs. So your option is to just tap the leg back, or you can lift it off the ground. And again, working through the glutes, okay? Roll out those shoulders, keep the core tight. And we're going to do 10 on each leg. Tap back if you need that balance. We've got 4 more. 3. A lot of leg work today. We're almost there. Last one. All right, good. Shake it out. Let's do the other side. Same thing. Make sure your feet are underneath hips to begin. And then start with that tap back or straight into your leg lift. We've got 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent work. All right, you did it. That was our lower body workout for today. So again, you can do that a couple times over this week, or if you want to take it into sections and do a few sets of each of those workouts, then there'll be a great workout for your legs this week. Enjoy.